Hello and welcome to this week's broadcast. I am recording outdoors today because it's really nice to get out of the house. I'm in California. We're in week 5 of sheltering in place. I don't know about you, but we still have several weeks to go, and I'm finding that I'm moving into kind of a different zone with trying to manage both my emotions and how I kind of get through the day and try to stay focused. For those of you who don't know me, I am Anne La Follette, and I'm a surface pattern designer and an online educator. And if you've never heard of surface design, the way I like to explain it is it's just taking your doodles or little marks or sketches or beautiful artwork and turning them into repeating patterns using the magic of Adobe Illustrator. And that is what I love to teach. So I thought what I would do today is, first of all, ask you to forgive me if there's a lot of ambient background noise. I'm out on my deck. I don't live on a very busy street, but it seems like every time I record out here, there's all kinds of cars that go by and it gets very noisy. But it's really beautiful out here right now. And I want to focus today on rituals and the benefits of rituals. And what I mean by that is that in today's environment where we are still sheltering in place and we don't have a lot of control over what we are able to do, there can be an amazing sense of grief or loss or loneliness or isolation. And I'm feeling all of those things. And the only thing I've sort of discovered over this time frame that's helping me is to keep with some of the rituals that I've always had in my creative practice, and even starting to explore potentially new ones. And separate from the rituals I have in my creative practice, one of the things I really wanted to share with you is new rituals I'm creating with my family and also with my creative community. And these rituals revolve entirely around connectivity and connection and figuring out how to be able to connect with each other when we cannot meet in person. So we just celebrated the Easter weekend. I hope you all had a lovely Easter, or if you were celebrating Passover, I hope you had a wonderful Passover. We are now moving into, deeper into the month of April, and of course we did not get together for Easter. I and my mom will generally, my mom passed away last year, but in the past she and I would alternate who did Easter dinner, and I was preparing to do it this year since she passed away. I was going to have it at my house for about 16 people. And of course, with shelter in place, that's no longer possible. So how could we get together nevertheless with the 16 members that we wanted to be able to see and talk to and hear their voices? So we did a Zoom call. And it was not the same thing by any means as getting together in person, but it was a really great way for us to be able to connect with one another, to have a few laughs, to catch up on what's going on, and also to physically see and hear each other. And that level of connection is so much better and more important right now than just picking up the phone or just text messaging with someone. The next thing is I am using this same method with my creative community. We're doing creative gatherings on Zoom twice a week, and it has been really fun and surprisingly engaging, and it's not a lot of work for me to organize them, and yet being able to see members of my community actually on screen, to hear their voices. I mean, it's not as great as an actual live event, but it's a pretty good second right now. And being able to ask questions and talk to each other and hear each other's voices and get to know each other better is making a big difference in my feeling of being connected to that community who I can't actually see physically right now or in person right now. And then the last thing about rituals is rituals can be silly and fun. So think about all of those Bridget Jones's Diary movies when they would have the Christmas scene and everybody would show up with a really crazy Christmas sweater. Totally silly, but fun, and a ritual that was meaningful for that particular family. Think about baseball players and all the superstitions that they have, the rituals they go through when they come up to the batter's box. They draw their name in the sand, or the dirt, or they cross themselves a bunch of times, or they tap on home plate with their bat. And I don't think that that necessarily improves their batting average or helps them hit a home run, but it definitely gives them a sense of calm and a sense of control over what their experience is going to be as they step into the box. So the underlining theme here is that rituals can actually give us a sense of control in a world that we live in right now where we have so little control over things. We can't go down the street and have coffee with a friend. We can't meet a bunch of people and all have dinner together because the restaurants are closed. So, however, if you think also about when you wake up in the morning, the first thing that you probably do is brush your teeth. That's a ritual that you've been doing forever, and it makes you feel like you're starting the day off on the right foot. So my recommendation for you is to think about rituals that maybe you are doing today that you want to make sure you're continuing to do, and maybe lean into them a bit more so that you get the benefit of that sense of control that they give you. Or if you've had rituals in the past and you've abandoned them, take some time to think about, well, what were they? Do you want to bring them back, or do you want to bring them back potentially in a new way? Or do you want to come up with completely new rituals and start them now in order to reap the benefits of how they can actually make you feel like you can get through the day with a bit more ease and have a bit of control in the world that we live in today, where there is such a lack of control or knowing what's coming or knowing what's next. So with that, I will leave you. If you enjoyed this broadcast, please click the subscribe button and also the little bell so that you get a reminder when I have another broadcast. I always like to say in closing that I am Anne La Follette, and it's never too late to create. Bye for now, and I will see you next week.